my name is Kelley Williamson. So we are focusing on Thanksgiving for these videos. So we've already done a mashed potatoes with the Yukon Gold potatoes. Absolutely wonderful, low fat, delicious. And then we also did sweet potatoes, and those are, like I said, those are my friends. I'll introduce you to those in a little bit. We also did sweet potatoes, so they had a little bit of brown sugar on them. They're absolutely another one that's absolutely wonderful. Those are ones that you could actually just put on a plate and eat them with a fork. They're so good. The next thing that we're going to do is a vegetable medley. So this is one of the favorite dishes that everybody absolutely loves. So when I go for Thanksgiving, they've always been told, when I said, okay, I'm going vegan and I need to be able to make all these different things and bring them to a Thanksgiving meal, everybody was a little, especially friends and family, like, I'm not too sure about that. I'm not sure if it's going to taste good. And then when I brought it for the first year, every year since, and I've been vegan for about 6 years now, every year since I've been asked to bring all the goodies and things like that for Thanksgiving. So this is great stuff, and I promise you will love it. So let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to have, of course, is we've got red peppers. So just cut up red peppers. They're fresh, they're not boiled, they're not anything. I have corn. So this is actually from corn on the cob, and then what I did is I stuck it in the broiler for about 15-20 minutes, just rolled it around, made sure that it had a little bit of the broiledness on there, so it was really good. And then I have broccoli. So broccoli I cut up into like little tiny pieces, and then as you notice that they're little pieces like this, and then I just put them in a pan, not a pan, but a pot, boiled them a little bit, and got those ready. So to do the corn on the cob, just to show you, so here's a regular corn on the cob. So boiled it for probably about 15-20 minutes, if maybe depends on how long or how big that these are. Stuck them in the broiler. So you notice they're a little bit firmer, I guess is the way to put it. So you just grab it up, this one's cooled a little bit, and you just take your knife and just run it down the corn on the cob. A little messy, easy to do though. Just kind of keep doing it in strips. And you're going to get all this wonderful corn. Then you take that, throw it away. If you don't have corn on the cob, let's just say that it's out of season in the area, and sometimes you'll get corn on the cob and it'll be like there's kind of a fertilizer taste to them or something. You don't want that because it'll ruin the whole dish. So you just want to smell it and make sure that it doesn't have that. But if you can't find corn on the cob, frozen corn, same way. You could actually boil up the frozen corn, put it in a broiler pan, and just broil it a little bit and mess it around. It gives you the same thing. All right, so let me go ahead and dump that. So I've got a baking dish. I'm just going to dump the corn out of the way. Chop it up a little bit. So the different ingredients, of course, corn. Just dump that in. And runaways. Red peppers, red bell peppers, delicious, wonderful, good for you. And make sure we get all those out. And that one for red bell pepper, so the corn I actually did 5 corn on the cob, so that's enough. So you'll see that there's enough in there for 5 corn on the cob. The red bell peppers was 1 large bell pepper chopped up into pieces, so it's just 1 and 5. And then the broccoli, as far as I bought the spear, the little heads, I probably did about 5 of those. So it just depends on how much broccoli you want. So I'm going to grab a spoon. One of the things that I love about this dish is it's really, really good over the mashed potatoes. So if you like the mashed potatoes, you will love this on the mashed potatoes. Because I'm from Kansas, and one of the things that we always did in Kansas is we always had fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and gravy. And then we always had corn too. So when we were kids, and we weren't, I wasn't one of the kids that liked to have everything separate, I wanted everything together. So I would take the mashed potatoes, the white gravy, which of course was just absolutely great for you, all the butter, and then the corn, mix it all together, and then take the chicken and dip it in there. So a lot of people would say, oh, that sounds absolutely wonderful, but it wasn't the best thing for you. So then you just mix it up because you want to make sure you have all the colors and the flavors all mixed together. So let me just mix this up for a second here. I love broccoli. It's one of the things that I eat a lot of. It's good on potatoes, it's pretty much good on anything. You can dip it, you can mix it into ingredients, it's great on stir fry. Alright, so we just have all that mixed together there. So, as you can tell, it's really, really pretty because you've got the green, you've got the yellows, you've got the reds. You could put onions in it if you want. This is a dish that I would actually, if I was making it at home, would put onions in it. But when I take it out, it's not one of the dishes I want to put onions because I have a couple people when we go to Thanksgiving don't like onions. So I don't want to have to make them pick it out. So So that's going. So then you have to have a little moisture because you're going to want to put this in the oven so that all the flavors kind of come together. So you're going to use vegetable broth. If you don't have vegetable broth, you could use water. But I like vegetable broth because it gives it just a little more flavor. Just pour that on. It's usually about 3/4 of a cup. Mix it up just a little bit just to make sure you get everything coated with the vegetable broth. Like I said, that vegetable broth just gives it a little more flavor. It has a little bit of spices and things in it. It's just really, really good for you. All right, mix that up. And the only other thing that you need on this dish, that's why it's quick and easy, and this is one of those quick and easy Thanksgivings that you could prepare a lot of things ahead of time, is salt and pepper. A little bit of salt. And a little bit of black ground pepper. Turn the oven on. So 350 for about 30 minutes. And you just want to watch it because if it starts getting a little bit dry, the first thing you want to do is just take it out for a couple minutes and then put some more of the vegetable broth on it and then stir it up again. So you just want to make sure this doesn't get really dry. So then to get it going, parchment paper. Because I know if you're like me, you're out there and you do a lot of research. And one of the things that they always say is that aluminum foil, especially if you use a lot of it, is not good for you. And you know that they've been replacing everybody's cavities with white porcelain. So what I do is, because it's a great heat conductor, is I always put the parchment paper first on, and then I put the aluminum foil over it. So just like that. All right, so that's ready to go. Put it in the oven. So 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. So join me in just a few minutes and then I'll show you what it looks like after it's been cooked. Have a good day. Great, so the vegetable medley has been cooking in the oven at 350 for about 25 to 30 minutes. And I've stirred it up a couple times just to make sure it's keeping it moist. So if I pull it out, this is actually what it looks like. If you could smell it, it's wonderful. You smell the corn, you smell the peppers. The peppers have got a lot of smell in it, the broccoli. It's wonderful. So let me dish a little bit of that up. This is, like I said, this is great to serve, especially if you've got mashed potatoes. So even if it's not Thanksgiving, let's just say this is something you want to make because it's quick and it's easy and it's wonderful. If you have extra, you could put them into mason jars or kind of glass jars and keep it with you to go to work. But the nice thing about this is that if you've got it and you want to just do mashed potatoes and this, it'll remind you of those days, especially if you came from Kansas or any of those other places. It'll remind you of home. So here you go. That's what it looks like with the recipe for the vegetable medley. Simple, easy, wonderful, low fat. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you at the next video. Have a great day. Bon appetit.